Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a painting of the inside of an ocean wave. I'm going to go ahead and list the colors that I used, and I'll put them in the description box also along with the paintbrushes that I used. So I'm going to go ahead and start blocking in the sky color, and I'm using light blue violet and yellow ochre, and I'm mixing that with a 1-inch flat brush. Now I'm going to go ahead and start mixing up my orange part of the sky. I've got a little bit of cadmium orange, cadmium yellow, and white mixed together. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of yellow and add that right in the middle, and then I'm grabbing a little bit of white and grabbing it just a little bit below that, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my brush and just kind of blend all of the areas together. And I'm just continuing that shape of the half circle that we put in, just lightly blending everything. So now I'm going to take a little bit of that light blue violet and mix it in with the peach color that we just put in, which was the darkest part of the brightest part of that sky there. And I'm going to go ahead and start blending it in. It might scare you at first, the color that it's going to make, but it will be a nice pretty blend. So just go ahead and start blending that in all together. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up an orange color, and I'm going to go ahead and just put it back in this area just to blend it out a little better. You can go right over that violet color. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did in the beginning, which was incorporate yellow and then pick up more white and just keep doing that and blending it out until you get it the way you want it. It might take a couple times to get a nice soft blend and to get the colors to stand out the way you want them. Switch to my feathered rake brush. It has wispy ends on the end of the tip of the brush, which makes it really nice for doing trees and leaves and all sorts of different things. So I'm using a little bit of Quinacridone red, black, and some yellow ochre. You want somewhat of a dark color, and I'm just tapping it into the canvas to create just an impression of some trees. You can do whatever trees you want. You could do palm trees or whatever type of trees you like. And so I'm not going to go ahead and finish the whole right side of the canvas because I'm going to be putting my wave in right about there. So I'm stopping right about at that point, and now I'm going to go ahead and just start tracing out the shape of the wave. And to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and use just a Filbert brush, and I'm picking up a little bit of that light blue violet, some black and white. You don't have to be perfect with this. This is just to line out your wave. So I'm going to go ahead and start blocking in some areas with this color. I'm going to have a lot of different color variations. In the wave, I wanted to achieve the look of almost glass within the water, I wanted it to look really reflective and like it was really clear glass. So basically, to achieve that, I want to use all the different colors that we have in the background in the actual wave itself, using different shapes and things like that, because that's what's going to kind of give it the effect of it looking really see-through and almost looking like glass. So I'm going to work at this for a little while. I'm going to try to do different shades of this color. I'm going to pick up some black where I want it darker, some white where I want it lighter. I'm going to kind of do some random shapes just to see what happens. I'm kind of twirling my brush a little bit in some certain areas, just to help shape those reflective areas in the wave. So doing that is going to help you. It'll create some extra color variation too, if you don't over blend your colors also. Go ahead and start working on the bottom part of the water, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of do like a little hook shape coming out from the trees, because it's going in the shape of the wave. So you want the reflection of the trees to kind of mimic the shape of the wave. So get bigger as you're coming closer to you, smaller as they get more towards the trees. And I'm using black paint, and I was just going in side to side motions, and just do the same thing with this little one. I'm just flicking my brush from side to side when I'm making these little shapes. Taking a little bit of yellow, some Quinacridone magenta, a little bit of that gray color, a little more of the light blue violet, And I'm going to start adding that in between the area that I just put in. And as I'm putting in all these ripples and different colors within the ripples, I'm making sure that I'm trying my hardest to kind of get bigger as I get closer to myself. You can do any color variations that you want. It's just, that was kind of like the main thing, was just make sure that you're getting that depth in there by making sure the ripples are kind of smaller and closer together, farther away from you, and then as they get up closer, just make sure they're somewhat bigger. Start mixing up in orange similar to the color that we have in the sky, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in the middle part of the wave. Just follow the shape of the wave. Add a little bit of black in there to darken some of those areas up a little bit. And I'm using my 1-inch flat brush for this. And start filling in areas of this part of the water with the orange. Learn that basically as you're putting in all these colors, you kind of want to do them within the area that they are near as far as the background, but you want to kind of distort the shapes and things like that in the actual wave, somewhat similar to raindrops if you've ever done raindrop painting. Have like a dirty dark burnt orange color, and I'm going through here and just kind of softening those lines just a little bit. In these lines you can see that they're raised up higher on the right side of that line that we put down the middle. As we get closer to the wave, it just looks like they're kind of tipped upwards, which is going to help shape the wave a little bit more. So just really try to focus on just kind of going within the shape of it, and it's going to help you in your painting. Back to my smaller Filbert brush. Now I'm going to go ahead and start putting some random shapes, twisting my brush back and forth, and I'm using black on my brush. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up a light gray color using some white, light blue, violet, some black. I'm gonna kind of come down through here and just wiggle my brush back and forth, just adding some more variation within the water. Adding some of that light blue violet color up through here as well. Just kind of outlining the black area that we have in there. I'm going to go ahead and mix up some more of that orange color. I'm kind of going to make a little more yellow in it just to kind of add some more yellow areas throughout, because we do have that really bright spot in the middle there. Now I'm going back up through the top of the wave and I'm going to start working on that, adding some more gray-blue areas in between the black part that we put in. Make sure you're concentrating on doing random shapes. Go straight down the middle of the wave like I'm doing, just random weird shapes. Picking up different colors here and there and adding some more blue violet or black or white is just to kind of give that variation. A lot of different shades of the colors that we already have laid out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of outline the black area with just a little bit of white. You can use a smaller brush if it helps you. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with the Filbert brush, and I'm just kind of outlining those areas somewhat of just a light color. I just mostly mixed, I'm kind of like picking up some of that gray color that we had, the light blue violet gray color, and you know, just kind of mixing a little bit of white in there. A little bit of black, trying to incorporate that shadow that I lost throughout this area. See, I'm using a smaller round brush now just to kind of clean up the edges along the black area that I put in. I'm going to go ahead and start mixing up orange tones so I can go ahead and start incorporating those tones into the wave. And I'm just going to go through random areas with that burnt orange color and kind of just squeeze that in certain spots. I'm mostly focusing on the edge of the wave where the sun is going to be really shining through. So I'm going to go ahead and just start working on that, and I'm grabbing more and more white here and there just to bring out some of those highlights. So I'm picking up more white. I really want to get these highlights shining, so I'm just going to go ahead and start popping those in closer to the edge of the wave and around the darker areas down here in this area, just in random spots, and even come down through here a little bit. And I'm just kind of like twisting my brush around. Like, as you can see, I like the effect that it kind of gave me when I was doing that. So I do have a lot of paint on my brush. It's kind of like an impasto type painting. You can wait until your painting dries and then put these layers on if you don't want any texture in your painting. But I kind of like the look that it gave me, because from far away it really did look like reflective water crashing, you know, in a wave. But when you get up close, it just looks like a painting, and I like those types of paintings. So I've switched back to my 1-inch flat brush, and I've got that burnt orange color, just a darker orange. And I'm going to start putting that in certain areas right through this area on the side. Just a little more brightness through this area. Create some more yellow tones, some more yellow highlights in this area right here, just to really brighten up the surrounding edge of the wave. Adding the final touches, the brightest highlights here. I wanted some more in the front area of the wave. So this is pretty much it. This is about the end of the painting. It's a pretty simple one, but it is a fun one, so I hope you guys try it out. And of course, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and taking the time to watch this. Sure to hit subscribe if you guys haven't already, and also remember to hit the notification bell to be alerted of upcoming videos.